Welcome back to the channel once again. Liam is my name and I'm glad that you've clicked this video once again. I'm here with great friends of mine. Here I have Tina. Tina is from B&T Life Lane. That is a very serious channel. Make sure that you go and check it out after this video. Then I have a good friend of mine called Maskman. Maskman, could you kindly tell us about yourself in a few words?
Hello everybody, my name is Maskman. I love to be called Maskman. It's my AKA. I am a good friend of Willie and also a good friend of Tina, and glad to be here.
Nice to have you here, Maxman. Then Tina, she's from B&T Life Lane. This is a very interesting channel here in Uganda. We love it for things like real estate. She tells us stories about things happening in Uganda, things like lifestyle, all those interesting, cool things.
And also farming.
And farming, yes. Currently, she's into farming and she's doing amazing things. If you really want to know how you can start a free-range farm sort of system, kindly go and check out her videos. They are amazing. So, Tina, tell us a little bit more about your channel.
Oh, well, like you've already said, B&T Life Lane is a YouTube channel that you can definitely not regret subscribing. We do a lot of things in regards to real estate, lifestyle, then also farming. Like he already said, we have a mixed free-range farm that you can definitely have something to learn from, because this is where we are doing things to teach people, to teach the population on farming and how farming is done in Uganda.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Tina. Now I had to engage my friends here, Tina and Maskman here. We want to talk about the things that are currently affecting us, and one of those things right now is the pandemic, that is COVID-19.
Yep.
How has it changed the way we do things currently? How is business happening, say transportation, even farming itself? What are the hassles that we are facing currently? What are those hurdles and how are we going about them? Currently, right now, we have a lockdown because of the second wave in Uganda here. There's a second lockdown that is going for 42 days. We've gone a couple of days, but this has impacted us in several ways, and we're going to discuss ways on how we're currently doing our businesses, because business has to continue.
Yeah.
So I would want to start with the Maskman, who can probably share with me what he thinks transportation has become lately. What are the challenges that you have found in your line of work, and how are you currently maneuvering?
Well, thank you, Liam. That's a beautiful question. I'll be sharing mostly my personal experiences. This pandemic has, had a great impact on the transport industry in Uganda. If you come to Uganda now, we are in a lockdown. This is not the first of its kind. Last year, we were in a lockdown for so long where all vehicles were banned from moving on the road, be it private, be it public, except for the cargo trucks and a few essential workers. For right now, for this second lockdown that we're in, things are a bit relaxed to the professionals, the so-called essential workers. This includes the health workers, the nurses, doctors, so on, the engineers, and other people who operate in that line of business. But on an individual basis, transport is a huge challenge due to the pandemic, because of the lockdown, which is intended to curb the spread of the virus. An individual moving, for anything, you either have to have your personal motorcycle, and you must be able to ride, and how many, how big the population is that cannot ride motorcycles, or you either have to have a bicycle, not a motor, but a bicycle. And very few people are able to actually ride those bicycles. And if you're going a long distance, you really see the inconvenience that has come with the pandemic. On the other hand, though, the business people, well as cargo is, authorized to move, business is not locked, you may not be able to go and transact your business as usual. For example, your shipment has come in, going to the URA offices to clear it is a hassle. currently the restriction comes with a travel permit. Want to move from one place to another, you get a travel permit, which is only got from the Ministry of Works and Transport. That itself is a long process. It was laid out, guidelines were put in press releases, but up to now, people who have applied for travel permits 18 days down.
I've not yet received some of them.
They have not got
So it's
a
not-
response. Not receiving, a permit, but even a response will tell you whether they will authorize you to travel or not.
Really?
In general, this pandemic has affected individuals in a very bad way. Imagine they do allow the sick, the pregnant to go and access the health services, but the person who takes you will be scared to come.
We'll be scared to come without you. And also even like getting into the hustle, how they stop the cars all the time. So I feel it's just a big challenge because the situation right now, there are so many roadblocks, right? So movement is really so bad, whereby the roadblocks are very many. If you have a patient in a critical condition, trust me, the person may not even reach the hospital facilities because of these roadblocks, because maybe cars have been blocked because of
you
movement.
need to wait for the security organ personnel to judge whether you are genuinely
sick or not.
Yeah.
So, and these guys are not doctors. Some people may not look sick, but they have something maybe for medical checkup. People who are going for reviews, but still they will not be restricted. They'll be restricted to move. So it's really so difficult. That's what I should really say on his point. Sorry for interrupting.
You're right. It's very difficult to go and get the permission so that you can drive your car and take whoever needs to go to hospital. And
what is the criteria for getting the permits?
Well, according to the press release that I read, the authorized body to issue out travel permits is the Ministry of Works and Transport. So you write there's an email, email address where you express your interest of applying for a permit, and the procedure is when you express your interest with backing documents, they give you logins to a certain web portal. So when you go and log in, punch in the details of the car, the individual who will be driving the car, and the purpose and the position that you hold in your organization. For example, if you're a director, and the purpose why you are requesting for a permit, maybe travel from work to home. And then when they verify that the information given them is genuine, they send you an online permit. Which you either print out.
You print it out?
You can print it out, or you can have a digital version of it. The most important
So how do they verify?
It has a barcode.
Okay.
And if you have a smartphone and a barcode scanner, you simply scan the barcode and get the details of the vehicle and who's supposed to drive it. The other way is if you don't have a smartphone, they send your number plate to a certain code any telecom company subscribe to, and it will give them instant feedback as to whether that vehicle is
authorized. Okay. That's interesting.
Wow, that's interesting, Maskman. Thank you for that insight. So for those that are not in Uganda currently, I think you understand where we're coming from. If you realize that people are not getting back to you as fast as they should in terms of picking up things that you've brought in the country, things that have been imported into the country, if you realize there are delays and you don't understand why your business is looking different, because some of you are operating businesses, you have footprint here. In other words, your businesses are running here and you're wondering why things are really a hassle. Exactly, Maskman has explained that getting things in transit is really a problem. Next I wanted to ask Tina what your thoughts are about work right now. There are people that used to go to offices for work, and right now we know many of them are not in offices anymore because of the widespread of this pandemic. Many of them, I understand, have been authorized to go and work from home. So I wanted to find out how have you managed to continue working from home?
Well, working from home is not really that very easy as you may think, because it comes with challenges. Because of course most offices, most private organizations have really resorted to making their workers work from home. So working from home it comes with the challenges of internet. You know, our country already has the bad history of internet. Our internet is not stable. The internet runs out very fast for most people. So most people were working from home because you have to work remotely, you know, at your home. So it is very difficult. Internet-wise, maybe you don't have stable internet. So communication amongst the team or people at office may be very difficult. So in case you want to communicate with your partners, for me who's doing business currently, may be very challenging because I can't get in touch with them as like very fast because of delays, because of maybe internet connections misbehaving here and there. So that is one of it. Then another challenge that I think most people are having because of working from home is the environment. Most of it is not really healthy. Find that you have a family, you have kids, you have a husband, you have a family, a big family.
You mentioned a husband. You make it sound like he's an issue, really.
No,
you should keep out of the way while you're working.
It's not the way husbands love attention at home.
Husbands are like babies.
So really, when you add him there,
husbands are like babies. They're like your babies. If you're a woman in a family, so they need care. They need that attention. They expect when you're at home, you need to, you know, African men, Ugandan men, they need you to get them maybe tea. Even if you're really home, they know that you're really working. They need food. They need all that, and you.
Wash their feet.
No, please. But there's that attention like from all sorts of everything. So in case you may be married, so it's really difficult from the children because children will not understand that mommy is maybe working from home or maybe dad is working from home. This applies to even the men. So they will not understand that because you at home, maybe they think it's a holiday for the young ones. They will not really understand that. So it will become an inconvenience to most people. Look at maybe if you're not staying, you're staying with other people in the home, maybe you have to set up your own office and maybe you don't have enough space in the house, but you have to set up somewhere, but it's an inconvenience to them because they cannot express themselves properly at home because they have to give you, you know, room to work, room to do whatever you're trying to do. And it's also an inconvenience to you because you cannot do much. So of course it's good, I should say, that at least business is going on even if you're working from home because business has to move on. So I think working from home has really helped because most people have tried to push their businesses not to just stop everything because of the COVID situation. So I feel it has the good and the bad, but that's how we are really managing it here. Then another thing that I should really say about working from home for business people, I think it has affected more of the informal sector. Let me say, like people who have been having shops downtown. Yeah. Yes, like people whose shops were closed completely not to operate. Trust me, those people are really suffering. Remember the first lockdown, it was after it was eased a little bit, people used to at least move around with their cars and sell in their cars. Maybe the clothes, maybe something, your merchandise you put in your car, put in on the street, then you call guys to come and check out what you have. But right now, no movement from your house. You cannot move with your car anywhere. And online businesses are becoming very tricky because remember, people have things to sell, but delivery prices have also gone up and you can't trust anyone right now. People are scared. Our means of delivery here are through the border guys, right? The motorcyclists. So most people really fear to use even that transportation because this guy may be hijacked, because of even of the time restrictions that we have here, remember. Because these guys can operate up to 5 p.m. And of course, sometimes the deliveries can go up to late. So most of these guys may not be able to sufficiently do what you're supposed to do, even if you're doing online business at home. So those are some of the challenges I can maybe think of right now.
You actually mentioned online. Right now, if your business is not online, we don't know exactly what you're up to because, to be honest, we do not know how long this lockdown might take. I understand now even in Australia, they have another lockdown. In South Africa, I think they're having their third lockdown. They're calling it the third wave. So we do not know how long this is going to take. Now, the informal sector, people that you talked about, of course, many of them probably do not know about the internet, but they can have their businesses online. Others have their own personal issues why some of them, that's the only way they know how to operate. They're just offline guys. You won't find them online. They are literally just they know their brick and mortar kind
true.
of life, whereby
I station myself somewhere.
I just have my shop here, please.
Yeah.
It's a wholesale shop. Come and pick up whatever you want. So some of them probably they don't know where to start from. But I think that this is a lesson that we need to really get on board. We have to get online. We have online stores like Jumia. We have like Onduka where you can buy electronics and things like that. Chikubo online.
Yeah.
So I think it's a wake-up call. We just can't operate the way we used to.
Yeah.
But sadly, I don't know whether we picked any lessons from the very first lockdown. I do not know whether we picked up any lessons.
I think we picked so many lessons because remember how it all happened. Remember the first lockdown, most people did not have more of online compared, like if you to compare how it was before the lockdown. Most people now started transitioning to online businesses now. So online business right now is far bigger than it was. So those are the lessons. Yeah, it's now booming and people have learned to use, they're forced to use social media, Facebook, Instagram, at least open up YouTube, like to run their business, to create awareness in the population. So I feel there's something that we really learned. It is just this time round that it was a hard blow. We didn't expect to get this lockdown.
It was instant. We didn't have like 3 days to go pick your merchandise from your store. So that now you move your business at home. Yeah.
I think there are other benefits that have come with the pandemic and the lockdown in particular. Back in the days, speaking about the work environment, we used to have big rush hours in the morning and evening going to work. But nowadays, the traffic is not as heavy because people are working from home. And that comes with a saving to the family. The daily transport to and fro work is now a saving, which can, be put aside to do something for the family. And then the other issue is people have adopted more of the healthy behaviors compared to the unhealthy. The sedentary life is kind of reducing because being in the house all day, it's a bit stressful. You find that, after doing the work or, before going in for work for the early birds, someone has to find something to break the fatigue, to break the stress, and brighten their lives up. So more people are exercising more, people are jogging more, and I think health-wise, we are scoring to those who are intentional.
Emotional people having mental issues. There are lots of issues going around. I've seen some people on Twitter. There's that a feature called Twitter Spaces. Right now we are discussing 40 days of mental health. So it seems like there's really an onset of mental issues going around.
True.
Now you as a medical person,
how the mental challenges are coming up? Because we are breaking the social space. We used to socialize
a lot,
and interact physically. Now COVID-19 comes with a restriction of keep a physical distance. Don't go to visit Tina. Don't go to visit. Don't hang out in the social. You remember how we used to spend our weekends?
Like weekends, Friday.
Ugandans have to party.
There was a lot of
like every day there is a function
that would bring your mood. But now
you're looking towards like the weekend.
The reverse is very true. Imagine for people who don't have families, you are alone in your house all the entire day. Thoughts that are going to come to you, the boredom is going to drive you crazy, and you either get into depression or even a worse mental state. That's why, and like in every bad there is a good. We're getting into depression.
I think I was telling William the other day about it. Like I was like, oh my god, I think I'm getting depression. Like at least I have to make phone calls and call my friends and first laugh a bit to relax myself out. So I call him, we talk, we laugh all day. I call you, Mask Man, and you've seen me call you like in the morning. Then we talk, we really laugh, and so that I can relax.
Why you're not going off the phone?
Why I'm not going off the phone? Because even the minutes that I load right now is just I wasn't a person who used to make phone calls like that. That was not me. If you really understand. But nowadays even people get shocked when they see me calling them because I just want to keep myself entertained.
It is a very good thing during these hard times. It is not business as usual. No one is prepared for this. It is very important to give a courtesy call to anyone. It cheers you up, but it has a bigger effect even to the other person. That is all into it is a broad topic we can discuss.
We can discuss another day.
And the other thing I appreciate so much about this pandemic in the business world, in the job market world, everyone is embracing technology.
Yeah, true.
Back in the
true.
days, the world is moving at a terrible speed. We are growing technology-wise. It used to happen before, but many people were paying a deaf eye, paying a deaf ear. They were like, technology is not for me. I can, drive and drop off the merchandise to anyone, anywhere I want in the country. I could load it on the bus. But right now, when the physical movement is restricted, believe me, the only way to survive is through technology.
Yeah, true.
At work, you can virtually meet.
Yep.
There is,
Zoom.
Zoom is booming, Microsoft Teams is
Yeah.
booming, and other, conferencing
Yeah.
applications are coming up, and people are learning to use the technology.
The technology.
The same applies to those downtown shops. Chikubo Online. This is an application that was built to boost the business for the people
For the
who
people.
are downtown, who are locked and can't reach their stores right now. So what you do, get online, look for a product that you want, order for it, and someone will be there to give it to you.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think it's good. Even the very last person, the local ones, as long as you need to keep earning, you are going to go on.
You're forced
and
to.
that is, the future.
Yeah.
I
That's the
think
future.
with more of online business transactions, people cut the costs. It reaches far compared to the connections that we get through one and two.
Yeah, that is so
So to
true.
me, that is the good. On the other hand, that has come out of the pandemic and the lockdown.
Yeah. But I think also, like you've mentioned, people are moving online. But don't you think we risk a situation whereby landlords are not going to see people occupying their buildings in town? Because you see, when somebody is running a small business, sometimes they risk it all for the rent. And now people are moving to their homes.
Yeah.
As in, there are going to be a situation whereby people are going to are going to get into the zone of, why don't I just operate closer? Why don't I have my goods at home? And I call up my border guys, my cyclists and whoever to transport whatever I want. Now this might eventually
Affect business.
Might affect businesses, the people that have their own buildings that are supposed to be open for tenants. So I'm thinking there's the advantages to this, and as well as disadvantages. I'm sure.
That is so true.
General population.
I'm sure those that own buildings are concerned.
Yeah.
But I think the thing about Kampala is that so many people, especially if we say downtown Kampala, there's a culture whereby people think that is where the cheapest things come from.
Yeah, true.
So they will still come to downtown.
Yeah, they'll
to look
always
for
come
those
there.
things.
So
there's that group of people that will still maintain the culture of our shops are open. If you want things that are cheaper on
you
wholesale,
come that side.
please come and meet us. So well, that is really what is happening. I also wanted to find out from say Tina, if you're into farming. I mean, if you know now there's you can't cross from one district to another.
To another, yeah.
How is this happening? What are the exceptions right now? Because obviously, if it's a huge farm and you're living far away from the farm, you can't just abandon it.
Yeah, you can't.
You need a level of supervision at that location.
Yeah.
But then you also, as the owner of the farm, I mean, how are you going about this whole situation of having to go to the farm and seeing what's going on?
Yeah, like the president said, address that farmers or agriculture should remain operating. So, but of course, you should be in that district. So, me, exceptional, we are living in Kampala, we can't cross over to Luwero. But the good thing I should say, we are just among the lucky ones, whereby we have a team back that side. We have a management, we have the workers, we have a manager, and also his assistant. So everything is moving on so well for us. I shouldn't talk about other people, because at least he's really trying his best to make sure that we are also happy this side, because he knows the situation, doesn't want to disappoint us, because we are going through a lot this side. So everything is going on so well, but also we also get a chance sometimes, of course, to move that side, yes, with the team. At least, because remember, they only allow 3 people in the car. So part of my team, of course, goes that side. My partner goes that side, of course, with someone, with at least one of the officials helping us to guide us through the way. Yeah, that's how it is.
And I think to the farmers and other business, people, there is one open gate for you to continue moving, and that's if you have a cargo truck.
Cargo truck,
Yeah,
a
cargo
pickup, or
So some people do have those farm cars which are in the form of cargo trucks, like pickup cars. So at least 2 people can board and
And go.
continue crossing.
Yeah, crossing that
And they're not
side.
stopped.
They're not
frequently.
stopped.
There are
No.
no restrictions. They
Okay.
can move any time of the day, unlike the other private cars.
Other
And the
private
beauty
cars.
of it is it will entirely break the transmission of COVID-19.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you're out there and you can afford a pickup car, buy it.
Well and
you will
good.
be able to go to your farm. You'll be able to go to your business premises and continue transacting.
So the same applies to people that are into fast moving consumer goods like juice, soft drinks.
Yeah.
Basically, all those fast consumer moving goods, they can always be delivered to
Yeah.
Yes.
because people are supposed to eat. People will
People
continue
have to
eating.
survive. Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And I think it's important we don't leave out the education, how it has been.
education, yes, yeah.
Yeah, education has really been impacted. Students had just reported back to school. Then after just a few months, they were stopped. But I think it has really helped because the spread had really increased in these schools. And of course, most schools weren't reporting the cases because they need to. They were just from the other lockdown. They were not making money, especially for the private schools. So you find that they were not making money at that time. So they kept quiet, thinking they're going to maintain the kids in school. But the spread really increased among the students, if you're to realize. Because most kids that came from school had the COVID. They just treated them from home for depending on the statistics that we really had on social media. Most kids really had, they were suffering and they were reporting, of course, to their parents because they told them when they're in school, please keep quiet. Do not tell your parents about the whole situation. So them getting to school and getting sick and also spreading, it was really so bad. But of course, people had to survive. People wanted money, wanted their school fees. And this also affected now the parents who had just paid their school fees and kids were brought back home.
Back home, yeah.
So it's a big blow to them, to the parents, a big blow to the owners of the schools. But it's just because of our health. So I feel it was a good thing. At the same time, it is bad. Of course, it's affecting the economy. It's affecting both parties. But it's for our own health. Let's just be patient for this time. Then with at least when things get back to normal, we shall continue with studies. I was talking the other day with one of my aunties. Talking to her, she was telling me like, yes, students need to study. People will be blaming themselves, maybe like, okay, I'm going to study for over 2 years I'm going to study longer.
Yeah.
In the same class compared to how people used to study. But studies do not end. Older people keep studying. There's adult education. So it is just patience. For the students who are out there who are complaining, who feel really depressed because of the current situation, do not be depressed. You'll always study. There's no age limit for education. So just be patient. When things stabilize, when things get back to normal, we shall go back to school.
Yeah, and the students, the learners at home, and they have to be supervised by their parents if the parents are working from home or if there's an auntie. And it's a challenge because, there's a lot of divided attention. The little one is trying to learn, but then there's a younger one maybe pulling up things and all that. Because I've seen friends of mine trying to really get their kids to study online. It's good that there's technology that allows learners to learn
From home.
Yeah. And I think we should make this a normal practice. Yeah.
And I think this break from school really gives parents a chance to connect with their children.
True.
You will appreciate many parents here leave a sole responsibility of bringing up this child to that school, teaching them the virtues, teaching them what the values, what they should believe in, how to behave in society. Is all left in school, and the peer influence that comes with being at school. I think that is a huge responsibility that sometimes parents, for obvious reasons, don't get enough time to be with their children.
Yeah, true.
But now that we are all at home, mommy, daddy, and the children, parents, I think we should use this time productively.
Yeah.
Children as well can get stressed, very stressed, by the way. Don't ask me for now how, but they do. You should know.
They do.
We really need to connect more with our children, bond more with them, and teach them the virtues, the family values and morals.
Morals,
we
true.
want them to be. Let's as we prepare them to go back to school, we shouldn't leave them, hanging. But on top of the school work, some schools send packages at home. We need to continue stimulating our kids at home, but very important to teach them the morals that we want them to
that is
carry.
so true.
I wanted to ask, how are churches surviving?
Wow, this lockdown, of course, they're online churches. That is the beauty about it. Everything, like Masman said earlier on, technology, like everyone is embracing that technology currently. So even churches are
Mosques,
doing, the mosques
Places
are
of
all
worship.
doing, places of worship are all embracing the online services. So they're going online, they're spreading the gospel in case you want to sow a seed through mobile money.
Mobile banking.
Mobile
everything,
banking, all that. So all platforms are there for the churches also to survive. So I feel, of course, it is not really nice to us, people who are used to going to a worship place, like to go meet your people, interact with the priests, interact with the sheikhs. But this time around, we have to be just patient. But I think it's a good thing for us now that everything is online. So you can pray from your home. You just organize with your families. I've seen families who even dress up on Sundays and just worship in their living rooms.
That is interesting.
Yeah, it is very interesting, but that is it. You know how Ugandans are, like Sundays are like families to go to church. So you dress up. So it's just a norm. It's just the culture. Like you dress up, be nice, look clean, put on TV, then you start worshiping in your living room.
Yeah, like Tina has mentioned, really, God is omnipresent. That is the beauty and the sole advantage out of the situation. Wherever you are, you'll pray and He will listen and answer your prayer.
Yeah, true.
The trends, our families are getting together, building each other in religion more because they have the time. They do this on a routine. For example, personally, my family is growing stronger in religion.
Yeah, so
we have
true.
all the time to pray together. We are committed. We have a routine. If
Wow.
fasting, we are there to encourage
To encourage each other. Maskan,
You
do
know.
you ask? Do you fast?
That's a story for another day. But I'm telling you the beauty that is.
Probably first from 9 o'clock to
To midday and say,
I'm
okay,
about to
mommy,
die."
continue.
Believe me, my resilience now when I'm doing this with my family is way better than if we were not together living this.
Yeah.
Like everyone is going to do to run
so
their
true.
errands. Yeah, I think that is another good thing that is coming out of and God promised us that if in such times of pandemics, and other disasters, if we turn to Him, the whole nation praise Him and leave the devil and his actions, He's gonna take them all away.
Yeah.
My hope is, as
Amen.
I pray, you too should be there praying that God
For us to get through all the situation.
That's true. I've noticed something very interesting. Is, in the very first lockdown, obviously, all churches were locked down, and many of them got onto line. Many of them got online. But there are those that never had presence online. I don't know what is happening to such people, but I think it's time for pastors or ministers, in whichever category they are in, to ensure that their ministries are online.
They're
Because
online.
the purpose of that is you need to be in touch with your people so that you can encourage them.
Yeah, true.
People are going through so much, so they are really, they don't know where to turn to. And then I've also noticed that some people are not actually going back to church anymore because they know there's the online alternative.
Online,
They are
so
simply
true.
remaining home to watch until there's a solution that is 100% to this situation.
Yeah, true.
Many of them that just turn to YouTube or Facebook and stream the sermon and everything. So basically, I think those are the changes that we are seeing currently
those are the major
in our
changes.
society, in our communities. Some of them are really nice. Others have come with their very own challenges.
I think there's one more we need to talk
Yeah.
about before we How do you find health sector?
Oh my God, I
The
think
health
it's
sector.
one of the biggest things that I've heard so far from what I've seen from my friends and family. Health sector has taken advantage of the population, especially the private hospitals. You realize most of the people, if you go to the private hospitals, they are overcharging.
True.
Like oxygen, people who are getting COVID may not go to the main hospital, but you may just go maybe to these private hospitals. They have the prices even for consultation, from the medicine, there's a receipt that was even going online one time for, is it some hospital I'm not going to mention of, but the prices that they had put for each and everything was beyond everyone's imagination. So I think this is what is happening in so many private hospitals, whereby they're taking advantage of the situation to overcharge, because you want your patient to survive, because you want them to live. So they're taking advantage of putting pressure on the people not even to survive, really.
True. Maskman, I think you can comment on that, because I think you've seen the first wave, and now you're seeing what is happening in this second wave. And what is government's position? What should it do?
The government is very committed, by the way, to supporting all age people, the entire population. Challenge is, we are a third world country. Sometimes the facilities are not enough for everyone, but it is committed, and its position is to ensure that everyone is planned for. I think that the hugest challenge now is they are overwhelmed. All the government facilities are overwhelmed. Wherever there is an intensive care unit, the beds, the bed capacity is quite low compared to the population, and all the bed spaces are taken. Even the high dependence units everywhere is. So that's why they are resorting to a situation where if you are not in that critical condition, in quotes, they don't admit you to a government facility. Rather, they have formulated guidelines of self-medication at home care for someone suffering from non-severe COVID. But also, I think where they are failing somehow is the structure has the private and the government, the public and the private. The private sector now is becoming very expensive, and if you listen to their side, their reasons are genuine. Yes, they are genuine. I was listening into a certain doctor, following, and the reasons they give are very genuine. For example, conditions are not the same. First thing is the doctor who will come to take care of you, he knows you are, a patient of COVID-19.
It's highly infectious.
He's at risk. He needs to get a risk allowance, because he can contract the COVID from you and take it back. We've heard of families that get wiped because of COVID. So even the other sundries that are used, the suit, the protective wear that doctors use and nurses in a hospital to take care of, it's all high. And if you listen to them entirely, they are somehow right. I think where the government needs to perform better is to come in and regulate. The regulation is on an individual basis. Everyone is doing their own. Everyone is setting their own prices. As a regulator, I think that's where the government needs to step in. If it means waiving off taxes for some, hospital equipment and supplies, let them do that. If it means, because we know the suppliers, we know the prices, they can really do better to regulate. But currently, the situation in private hospitals, as the saying goes, directly translated, when you go there and you are in a critical condition of COVID-19, you are going to buy life. The last words from me is this COVID-19 is real. It is claiming many lives in Uganda. Currently, as we speak, 14 people out of 100 who get sick die. And in every 10 people, you see 4 do have COVID-19, symptomatic or asymptomatic. And these other strains that are coming in are really more contagious. They are more infectious, meaning if you get it, it is very easy to get it, and if you get it, chances of survival are very
minimal.
We know the beauty of all this is that we know the gold standard. Keep safe. Keep your physical distance. You can keep the social distance online, but the physical distance, break it. Or ensure you wash your hands and sanitize, and most importantly, wear your mask properly. Stop the business of putting your mask below the chin. And where symptoms are, consult a medical personnel.
Yes. So Tina, what are your final words to this whole thing?
We've had so much we've discussed.
So much.
And of course, Maskman has summarized literally everything. But just stay safe, keep in the house for now. That time will come for us to be out. So that's what I can only say.
Thank you so much, Tina. For those that haven't subscribed to this channel yet, please consider doing so. Give this video a thumbs up so that it can be found by other people. You can leave your comment down there. Tell us what you think. Tell us what you want me to address on this channel, and I'll gladly do that. Thank you for watching. I'll be seeing you in my next video. Bye bye.